Imagine this, you're standing at the edge of your potential. The only thing between you and who you could be is the work you're willing to put in every single day. Becoming your best self isn't a magic trick or some overnight hack. It's a science, and the lab is your life. Step 1 is self-awareness. Most people never truly know themselves. They chase what others tell them to chase. You need to spend time understanding what drives you, what excites you, and what holds you back. Your strengths are your tools. Your weaknesses are your data points. Analyze them, embrace them, and leverage them. Step 2 is consistency. People think big wins come from big moves. No, they come from the small moves done consistently. The 1% improvement every day compounds faster than any overnight success you see on social media. Your future self will thank you for the habits you build today. Step 3 is time management. Time is your ultimate asset. Stop wasting it on distractions. Say no to the noise. Focus relentlessly on what moves you toward your goals. Your energy and attention are like currency. Spend them wisely. Step 4 is reframing failure. Every failure you encounter is a data point, not a dead end. Learn, grow from it. Fail faster and smarter, and the lessons will accelerate your progress. Step 5 is skill mastery. Don't chase shortcuts. Mastery comes from doing the work, from refining your craft, from showing up when no one is watching. The more skills you acquire and polish, the more opportunities the world will hand you. Step 6 is mindset. Your beliefs shape your reality. If you think small, you'll act small. If you cultivate resilience, positivity, and patience, your actions and decisions naturally align with growth. Protect your mindset like your life depends on it, because it does. The science of becoming your best self isn't glamorous. It's messy, it's daily, it's relentless, and it's uncomfortable. But here's the secret: those who embrace the process, who treat life as their personal laboratory, see results that others only dream about. So start today. Analyze yourself, commit to your habits, value your time, learn from failure, refine your skills, and guard your mindset. That's how you master the science of becoming your best self. And trust me, once you start, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Most people go through life like they're sleepwalking. They wake up, follow a routine, chase what other people tell them to chase, and never stop to really understand who they are. That's the problem. You can't become your best self if you don't actually know yourself. Self-awareness is the foundation of everything. Without it, you're building a house on sand. You need to take the time to figure out what makes you tick, what energizes you, what drains you, and what you're naturally good at. The truth is, most people are scared to look inward because it's uncomfortable. Nobody wants to face their weaknesses, admit their fears, or confront the habits that hold them back. But here's the thing: the moment you stop running from yourself and start analyzing who you are, you gain power. Power over your decisions, power over your direction, and power over your life. Think about it: your strengths are your leverage. If you know what you're amazing at, you can put yourself in situations where those strengths shine. You don't have to be the best at everything. You just have to know what you're best at and your weaknesses. Don't ignore them. Don't hide from them. Don't let them shame you. Treat them as data points, not judgments. Every weakness you identify is an opportunity to either improve or to learn how to compensate. Most people spend their lives trying to be what everyone else wants them to be instead of optimizing who they actually are. Self-awareness lets you stop comparing yourself to other people and start playing your own game, your own way. You also need to understand your emotions, your triggers, and the way your mind works under pressure. When you get to know yourself deeply, you start seeing patterns in your behavior. You notice why you react in certain ways, why you procrastinate, why you sometimes succeed and sometimes fail. That understanding is a superpower because it allows you to course correct faster, make smarter decisions, and invest your energy where it actually counts. And here's another secret: self-awareness isn't a one-time thing. It's a constant practice. You check in with yourself daily, weekly, monthly. You journal, you reflect, you ask the hard questions, you take feedback seriously. When you commit to that, you start seeing clarity in your goals, in your relationships, in your work. You start aligning your actions with your true purpose rather than just following what society or other people tell you to do. People always want to see big results overnight. They scroll through social media and see someone crushing it, making it look effortless, and they think, I want that now. But that's not how anything real is built. Success doesn't come from one big move, one viral moment, or one perfect day. It comes from showing up every single day, over and over again, even when it feels boring, even when nobody is watching, even when you're tired or frustrated. Consistency beats intensity every single time. You can sprint for a day and burn out, or you can move forward steadily, step by step, and compound your efforts into something massive. The people who last, the people who actually achieve, are the ones who commit to the grind long before anyone notices. Think about it like this. If you improve just 1% each day, that growth compounds. 1% doesn't sound like much, right? But do it every day for a year, and you're leaps and bounds ahead of everyone who's waiting for the perfect moment. The math doesn't lie. The world rewards those who are relentless, not those who are perfect. And here's the catch: consistency isn't just about doing the same thing over and over. It's about intentional action. You have to know what moves you closer to your goals and focus on those small actions consistently. You can't just be busy, you have to be deliberate. Consistency also builds trust. Trust with yourself and trust with the people around you. If you say you're going to do something and you actually do it, you reinforce discipline in your own life. People start to rely on you, opportunities start to recognize you, and doors that stay closed to the flaky or the inconsistent begin to open for the person who shows up no matter what. And when you combine consistency with patience, you start to see momentum. It might not be immediate. You might feel like you're spinning your wheels. But the truth is, your effort is stacking, your skills are growing, and you're quietly outpacing everyone who's waiting for motivation to strike. Most people quit right before the breakthrough. They expect magic instead of trusting the process. But if you can embrace the mundane, embrace the daily grind, embrace showing up when it's uncomfortable, that's when the real transformation happens. Habits are built through repetition, not inspiration, and mastery is forged in the daily commitment to do the work. Even when it feels like no one is noticing, even when progress seems slow, even when your brain is telling you to wait for a better day. Consistency compounds in ways that shock people who don't put in the work. Time is the one thing nobody can give you more of, and yet most people spend it like it's infinite. You scroll, you binge, you procrastinate, and before you know it, months have passed and nothing meaningful has been built. The harsh truth is, time is your most valuable resource. Money can be earned back, opportunities can sometimes come again, but time, once it's gone forever. If you want to become your best self, you have to treat every minute like it matters, because it does. Every decision about how you spend your time is a vote for the kind of life you're creating. Start by identifying what actually moves the needle in your life. Most people waste 70% of their day on distractions that feel good in the moment, but don't contribute to long-term growth. Social media scrolling, endless TV, worrying about things you can't control. These are all time leaks. And here's the kicker. The people who master their lives aren't the ones who work harder. They're the ones who work smarter. They prioritize the tasks, the relationships, and the actions that create momentum toward their goals. They ruthlessly say no to the things that don't matter, and they protect the things that do. Think about energy too. Time isn't just about minutes on a clock. It's also about your focus and your attention. You could spend 8 hours at a desk and get nothing done if your mind is scattered. But when you focus, deliberately block distractions, and dedicate periods of deep work to your priorities, those same 8 hours become exponentially more valuable. And it's not complicated, just conscious. Schedule your time around your highest value activities. Create routines that reinforce what you want to achieve. Use the morning when your brain is sharp. Batch similar tasks together. Guard your attention like it's a bank account, because it is. Another critical piece is understanding the difference between urgent and important. Urgent tasks scream for attention, but they rarely move you forward. Important tasks, the ones that develop your skills, build your relationships, grow your business, or improve your health, often feel less pressing in the moment, but they compound over time. The science of becoming your best self is rooted in how well you spend your time. Every habit you form, Every decision you make about where to invest your energy contributes to your future self. Most people drift through life reacting to what's happening around them. The high performers, they control their time like a currency. They know that every minute wasted is a lost opportunity to learn, create, or build. Most people are terrified of failure. They think it's the end of the road, a mark of shame, proof that they aren't good enough. But here's the brutal truth: failure is not the enemy, it's the teacher. Every mistake, every setback, every time things don't go the way you planned, it's a piece of information, it's feedback. The people who become their best selves are the ones who don't just survive failure. They analyze it, learn from it, and use it as fuel to get stronger. Too many people run from failure, hide from it, or deny it, and as a result, they never grow. Growth doesn't come from playing it safe. It comes from pushing yourself into uncomfortable situations, from experimenting, from taking risks, and from being willing to fail and fail again until you figure out what works. The first step is changing how you see failure. Stop labeling it as a disaster. Instead, treat it as data. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I do differently next time? What patterns are emerging? The answers are everywhere, but you only see them if you're willing to look honestly at your mistakes. If you have the courage to take responsibility and analyze failure objectively, it stops being something to fear and becomes something you actually crave. Because the faster you fail, the faster you learn, and the faster you grow. Another thing most people don't realize is that failure builds resilience. When you experience setbacks and survive them, you develop mental toughness. You learn that no obstacle is permanent, no criticism is fatal, and no mistake defines you. That resilience becomes a competitive advantage. People who embrace failure are more willing to take calculated risks, more willing to innovate, and more willing to pursue ambitious goals that others are too afraid to touch. They understand that every failure is a stepping stone, a necessary part of the journey toward mastery. And here's the subtle part. Failure is only useful if you don't repeat the same mistakes. Reflection is key. You have to pause, analyze, and adjust your approach. Too often, people fail and then fail again in the same way because they didn't learn the lesson. That's not failure, it's negligence. Feedback from failure is the world's most honest mentor, but only if you pay attention. When you embrace failure as feedback, it changes everything about how you approach your work, your goals, and even your life. You stop fearing rejection, criticism, and mistakes. You start experimenting, innovating, and moving faster. Every loss becomes a lesson, every setback a chance to recalibrate, and every obstacle a clue about how to improve. The problem with most people is they want the results without doing the work. They're obsessed with shortcuts, hacks, and quick fixes. But real success, the kind that lasts, doesn't come from that. It comes from mastering your craft, from building skills, from putting in the time and effort when nobody is watching. Skill building is the foundation of everything in life. Without it, no amount of luck, connections, or clever tricks can carry you for long. People who focus on shortcuts may get temporary wins, but those wins are fragile. Skills, on the other hand, are compounding assets. The more you learn, the more valuable you become, and the more doors open for you. The key is understanding that mastery is a marathon, not a sprint. Nobody becomes great at something overnight. You have to embrace the grind. You have to do the work consistently, refine your abilities, and push yourself beyond your comfort zone. And here's the thing, most people stop at average because they're chasing instant gratification. They want the dopamine of a sale, a promotion, or recognition, but they ignore the long-term payoff of skill accumulation. The people who rise to the top invest in themselves relentlessly. They dedicate time to learning, to practicing, to failing, and then practicing again. Every hour spent improving compounds over time, and those small investments in your abilities eventually pay off in ways that shortcuts could never achieve. Another important piece is being patient with the process. Skill building is often invisible in the moment. No one applauds when you practice alone, study late, or grind through a project nobody sees. But those invisible hours are the ones that create visible results. You're building a foundation under your success, and foundations take time. The more you commit to continuous learning and skill development, the more confidence you gain, the more opportunities you attract, and the more control you have over your future. Also, focusing on skills makes you adaptable. Life and business are unpredictable. Trends change, industries shift, and technology evolves. If you rely on hacks or shortcuts, you're at the mercy of circumstances. But if you're constantly building skills, you can pivot, adapt, and excel no matter what changes. Your skill set becomes your leverage, your currency, and your safety net. The real winners aren't the people who try to cheat the system. They're the ones who respect the process, embrace the work, and commit to getting better every single day. They understand that skills compound, habits compound, and effort compounds. And that compounding is the ultimate shortcut that nobody talks about, but everyone who succeeds uses. Your mindset isn't just a part of success, it's the lens through which your entire life is filtered. Most people underestimate how much their thoughts, beliefs, and mental habits shape their outcomes. They blame circumstances, other people, or luck when things go wrong. But the truth is, your mindset determines how you interpret and respond to every situation. If you believe you're capable, resourceful, and resilient, you act in ways that reflect that belief. If you doubt yourself, hesitate, or assume failure, you'll sabotage your own opportunities before they even appear. Becoming your best self starts with controlling the narrative in your own mind. The first step is recognizing the stories you tell yourself. Too often, people are running on autopilot, repeating thoughts like, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good enough," without questioning them. Those stories shape your reality. They influence your energy, your confidence, and the risks you're willing to take. To change your life, you must change your internal dialogue. You must replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones and reinforce them through action. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you train it to see possibility instead of limitation, the stronger it becomes. Mindset also dictates your resilience in the face of challenges. Life isn't linear. You're going to face obstacles, rejections, failures, and unexpected setbacks. A positive, growth-oriented mindset allows you to view those moments as opportunities to learn and pivot, rather than proof that you're failing. People with a strong mindset don't waste energy complaining or regretting. They focus on what they can control, analyze what happened, and take the next step. That approach turns setbacks into momentum, frustration into fuel, and doubt into motivation. Another critical aspect is patience and long-term thinking. A mindset focused on instant gratification or comparison keeps you constantly chasing, never satisfied, and always anxious. But if you cultivate patience, you see that progress is incremental and that every small decision compounds over time. Your mindset becomes the anchor that keeps you steady, focused, and intentional, even when the process feels slow or invisible. Your beliefs also influence the people you attract, the opportunities you recognize, and the risks you're willing to take. A mindset rooted in confidence, curiosity, and optimism creates a feedback loop. You act boldly, attract resources and mentors, and generate results that reinforce your beliefs. It's a self-fulfilling cycle. The reality you experience is a reflection of the mental frameworks you operate within, and the stronger, more growth-oriented, and disciplined your mindset, the more aligned your life becomes with your true potential. So here's the reality. Becoming your best self isn't about luck, shortcuts, or waiting for motivation to strike. It's about understanding who you are, showing up every day, using your time intentionally, learning from failure, sharpening your skills, and cultivating a mindset that refuses to settle for less than your potential. It's messy, it's uncomfortable, and it requires patience. But the people who embrace the process, who commit to the science of growth, are the ones who outwork, outlearn, and outperform everyone else. You have everything you need to start right now. Stop overthinking. Stop waiting. Take control of your awareness, your habits, your time, and your mind. Stack those small wins consistently. Learn from every setback. Invest in your skills relentlessly. Protect and grow your mindset. That's how you become unstoppable. That's how you turn potential into reality. That's how you master the science of becoming your best self.